welcome back to Rail Time. In this video, we are recapping some recent news articles involving motorcars, also known as speeders. First up is a segment by Chronicle 5 WCVB.
It's just so peaceful, so quiet. It's a different way of life.
During this shoulder season, visitors to Wolfeboro can unwind and bask in the stillness.
I know people when they come up here, it's like, it's just, they just can feel the stress drain from their bodies and souls,
Wolfeboro is often described as a summer getaway for the well-heeled and the well-known. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy vacationed here. Mitt Romney has a house here. Jimmy Fallon is often spotted around town.
Summer it gets crazy downtown.
When I come up to Wolfeboro in the summer just to go swimming or go boating in Lake Winnipesaukee, oh my gosh, there's so many people and it's crazy.
In spring, locals embrace the silence before the surge.
Wolfeboro's main streets have pretty much retained the quintessential old turn-of-the-century feel. It has a lot of lakefront properties and homes, but it still retains the flavor that you would expect when you're walking down a brick sidewalk main street.
Wolfeboro also has a whimsical side.
So welcome everybody to our excursion today. We're going to be heading up the line a couple miles.
Die-hard railroad buffs gather here at Wolfeboro's Fernald Station.
For us, it's a hobby, it's a passion. For me, it's a big part of my life that I really enjoy.
People walk the Cotton Valley Rail Trail, but they also ride it. Jesse Mazie is vice president of the Cotton Valley Rail Trail Club.
If you can imagine the little Mickey Mouse handcars with the people pumping up and down, so these were basically the motorized versions of them. In the early 20s, they were used for the railroads for inspection, maintenance. They lasted until about the 1980s when the railroads really did a full conversion to high rail pickup trucks.
After that, railroad motor cars became obsolete and a collector's item. Gordy Wallach bought his rail car at an MBTA auction.
Boston and Maine Railroad purchased this in 1980 for inspections in Somerville, and it got used for a year, and then it sat under the expressway in Boston for 29 years. It was pretty sad when I acquired it. There were only 5 of them on this side of the globe, basically, and I wanted to do the restoration on it. It's about 650 hours and $8,000 or $9,000 to get it to where it is right now.
They're a fascinating piece of American history that are fairly rare. We'll be on an excursion somewhere and someone will say, hey, I've never seen that before. I didn't know this existed.
Enthusiasm for rail cars can run deep, says club member Lori Pepper.
My grandfather used to work for the Pennsylvania Railroad, so it's kind of in my blood.
Mazie bought his first rail car at age 15 before he had a driver's license. Now he's a police officer in Raleigh, Massachusetts, who shares track tales with his colleagues.
They all know about it. They kind of bust my chops about it.
All of these vehicles are privately owned, stored off-site, and transported to the Cotton Valley Rail Trail. Members enjoy the ride while performing service on these 12 miles of track.
Right now, we use the cars as they're intended. We maintain the track. We're all volunteer. We're unique actually in the United States because the state owns the rail and we have an agreement with them to use the rail, but there's different groups that all contribute towards its maintenance. So it's really a cooperative effort.
The club holds an annual open house for visitors, and members take their rail cars on trips. But mostly, they all relish spending time together.
People are great, the camaraderie is great. That's what it's really all about,
So cute and so fun. Yes. The Cotton Valley Rail Trail Club holds an open house in August for the public.
And we mentioned that club members take their cars on trips to other parts of the country to visit dormant rail trails. And they're also an affiliate of the North American Railcar Operators Association.
Nice.
Yes, there you go.
Still ahead, a local student gets fired up.
Next up is a segment that aired on WCAX 3. It showcases a 2021 motorcar excursion in Vermont.
a 200-mile train track from White River Junction to Newport, but it's not your average railroad ride. Dozens of revitalized motor cars took to the tracks today and will continue their journey tomorrow. Channel 3's Melissa Cooney caught up with the operators during their lunch break in Barnet.
This is the way we like to see the United States.
Dale Burks traveled all the way to Vermont from Illinois to experience the state via his motor car, which is more than 5 decades old. This is how these rail enthusiasts check out new systems, by hopping in a motor car. The trek is a collaboration between the Vermont Rail System and the New England Rail Excursions, or NEREX for short. This is the first trip since COVID, but Vermont Rail's 4th in total. Some folks from across the country are seeing the Green Mountain State for the first time. Others hail from right down the road.
You know, see nature, see Vermont, and I'm near railroads. You know, it can't get any better than that.
John Marcotte is from Williston. This is his second ride in his newly refurbished motor car. He says trains have always been a passion of his, and seeing Vermont along the Connecticut River and other bridge crossings is a spectacular way to enjoy his hobby.
Great reason for us to get off the couch and go do things.
As you can see, no two motor cars are the same. Many were created in the 1940s, but have since been individually revitalized to keep up with technology while still maintaining their own individual uniqueness.
Mostly they don't run when we get them, and they're in really bad shape, but we restore the cars, we restore the engines, we get them operating again, and then we legally set on rails.
Thomas Sopchak is the excursion coordinator. He says refurbishing the vehicles is part of the process, and people enjoy tinkering with the cars to get them ready for the rail.
It took us a year and a half to get it to look like it does now, and we were off and running.
We used the pieces, which are all rusted and corroded, to create new pieces out of new metal. And then we built the car up from there. I made modifications.
The 45 Motor Car Parade will be stopping overnight in Newport and will turn back around and return to White River Junction, completing a more than 200-mile journey in a 25-mile-an-hour vehicle. In Barnet, Melissa Cooney, Channel 3 News.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to be alerted when new motor car content is posted. See you on the rails.